So we're here at a very nice gym. We did struggle to find one that would allow us to film, but we won't get into too much detail. We found this one.
Maybe later.
Yeah.
Maybe
later we'll get some politics to start slagging off some people. But today we're going to do a very optimal training session. We've known of each other for a while now via social media. I respect everything that he puts out. It's top quality stuff.
Appreciate it.
Today it'll be a good opportunity to train both of us together, but also maybe I'll learn a thing or two from you. Maybe you can critique my form and technique.
I don't know about that, but I'll do my best.
Yeah.
I'll do my best. I'm thinking we do some lats, some upper back, some chest, maybe in that order with a staggered approach. So back, chest, back, chest, back, chest kind of a thing. You good with that?
Yeah.
Okay.
What do you normally do for a warm-up, personally?
Dude, jump right in.
Jump right in?
I don't do any warm-ups.
Yeah. Good.
Well,
No
warm-ups
wasting a rest.
specific, just like, you know, like lighter weights of the thing.
Yeah.
You know?
For me, I go straight in. I do a couple of warm-up sets of the movement which I'm doing.
Yeah.
And then I gradually build it up to the working weight, and then usually I'm good to go. That's pretty much it. Usually if it's legs, then there's a little bit more of a warm-up required, but upper body, usually I'm good to go. Of course, if you do have any pre-existing injuries, then you might have to spend a little more time on that.
For sure.
If you're older, again, you spend more time on that. For most people, you should be able to, you want your time in the gym to be efficient.
Yeah.
Just get in, get it done. Don't waste 20 minutes of time and energy faffing about.
Question for you. Don't assume that I mean anything by this, because I think
How dare you?
I think you
How
have.
dare you?
I think you have zero weak body parts, but in your Mike mind, do you have a weak body part? It's
Yes.
okay to say no.
No, I definitely do. I'm my own biggest critic. There's always stuff to work on. Lower lat. I feel like I just don't.
Oh, let's start there.
Yeah, the lower lat is lacking.
Okay.
Legs have improved a lot. Glutes were not as good as they are now.
What have you done for those?
This is literally
Hip thrust, hip
like
thrust, hip thrust,
split
hip thrust?
squats with some machine, lots of hip thrusts. That's pretty much it.
Okay. Yeah, that's the formula.
I'm very happy with my chest, biceps, triceps, great. Mid delts had been a little bit of an issue, but they're coming along nicely now.
Do you spot a machine pull down that would not be this thing?
See, this is always the issue when you're in a new gym. You got to do a couple of laps to scout out what pieces of equipment they have.
It's fun though.
Oh yeah, it's fun.
Very fun. It's like to me, it's like going to a candy store.
Yeah, like you know when, for example, women if they go into a shoe shop or designer store, they're like, oh my, like for us, we're very happy men right now.
Oh, you know what I was gonna ask you? My wife is concerned about my stylistic choices
Okay.
from a clothing perspective. You seem to have something. You seem to have a good formula for style.
Thank you.
Yeah. I'm. Don't even mean that as a compliment, but I guess it is.
Well, I don't know, because if you were to look at what I was rocking 10 years ago, I didn't have style. Didn't really understand the concept of fashion. But I think, obviously, since I did launch my own clothing brand in 2019, I had to pay a little bit more attention to fashion and looking good. And I also underestimated how much women pay attention to what a man is wearing. So
Okay.
if you can dress well, it helps you get laid.
I never underestimated that. I just never put much thought into it. You know what I mean?
Well, you found your wife, you got married, so
But to be fair, met her in high school. Something I really like, not that you need any of this information, but something I do really...
the audience need it though.
Okay, we're talking to you now, not to Mike. I do think that something that is super helpful to think about in relation, especially to the single arm stuff, but any pulling motion, is to think about pulling not from here, but rather both from here and mostly actually from here.
Yeah.
So if you're at the bottom, what I would do is I would do like this. So I would come underneath of you and I would grab your elbow and you would prevent me from doing this.
So I'm
kind of
driving down even harder.
yeah, exactly. Yeah. So when you finish, it's this thing to here rather than this thing down. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
The problem also kind of emerges when your arms get to, say, this particular size, when you're essentially your biceps start running into this guy.
Yeah.
So for you, it might be easier to do that if you lean a little farther backward.
Yeah.
You know, you see like the biggest dudes who they get like halfway down and all this stuff is like smushing each other.
Yeah.
So it ends up like being more of a triceps extension almost in the bottom because they'll kind of know exactly where to pull, but they end up with a load like that you would be using for a triceps sort of a thing.
Are you aiming for a particular angle at the elbow joint when you're in the bottom position?
Basically just like arm at side. So for you, but you see, and this will be a good visual for people, like if Mike has his forearm in this direction, he would want the cable basically striking right through parallel here. Because if the cable were this way, again, that's a tricep. That's like a loading on your tricep, if that makes sense. So it would be like if the cable were pulling this way, more and more tricep. So for you, I would want to basically start here and then reverse engineer to where I was angling this way. And in this context, you could just lean a little bit back to do that.
Like, yeah.
Exactly. Problems of being more muscular, my friend. I'm not there yet. Maybe eventually. I will be totally honest with you. I haven't counted a rep in maybe 2 years. I just my philosophy is I just go until I can't move out of the starting position. And
Are you tracking any of it or?
I track total sets.
Yeah.
And I just love to effort equate by saying 0 reps in reserve.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like I kind of like that angle a little bit better for you because you don't end up squishing into yourself.
Well, it feels good.
Another thing too for you, Mike, is as you get toward that bottom position, try to keep your abs a little bit more on, as in like you're in more of like this exhale. Yeah, a little bit less of that, a little bit more of that.
Yeah.
Because when you get there, you're going to be able to like hunker down a bit better.
Because that's the thing with the lower lats, I feel like there's something I'm doing which is not optimal. But I don't know as well. Maybe it's a little bit genetics. But
I think your genetics are okay.
no, but you know how like Ulysses. Ulysses has always had the craziest cobra back.
Yeah, agreed.
And I'm like, how has he done?
Or
that?
like a Kai Green. It's like. But if you think about like where those fibers are going, they're the most vertical ones, right? As you said. So the way I think about it is the second that you start to create the spinal extension, now you're just turning it into something more horizontal.
Yeah.
That's how I think about it.
Yeah, that makes sense.
All right.
Do you feel like you got to the point now where you're like Neo in the Matrix, where when you see people performing an exercise, it's like you're seeing it differently to how most people would see it?
I don't want to make it seem magical. It's more just like pattern recognition.
Yeah.
You know? I know you've seen enough clients where you're like, I've seen this mistake before.
Yeah. Like it got to a certain point after maybe a year or so of coaching people where I could see everything, like if they were doing it right or if they were doing it wrong. Most people tend to be doing it wrong.
And it's almost like you came to that understanding without having to describe it. And it's almost like when you see it, you have to reverse engineer how to describe it.
Yeah.
That's how like you ever seen like a chess grandmaster like play? They're not. It's all of it is just pattern recognition. So it's like they move in 2 seconds. They can fucking put a blindfold on and like they know where the pieces are. It's just it's the same thing. All right, I have 100 pounds on there. I feel like that would be good for my first set.
Yeah.
Okay. I really appreciate the non-rah-rah mentality here.
Non-rah-rah.
Yeah, you know what I mean? You catch my drift? Like sometimes, okay, I'll explain.
What is rah-rah?
Sometimes when I work out with people, they have this temptation to like put on a performance where they'll start like slapping me. And,
Oh god, yeah.
Like what more? What? I'm like, dude, I'm just let me.
Yeah. No, I'm not a fan of that. But sometimes, if you're training with like a Mr. Olympia, you're like, okay, you just got to take it.
So I know you've trained with Dorian a bunch of times.
Yeah. He's allowed to shout with me.
Yeah, he's allowed to slap you anywhere he wants.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, there's some people. There's some people who I used to train with. I'd stop training with them because they would just be shouting and just unnecessarily be telling me to do reps, and I'm like, yes, I'm already doing that fine, thank you. you elevating and stretching at the top.
Yep.
Go on. Should I slap you now, or?
Damn, this clip with a slap fight.
So you're going until there's just no movement.
Because you finish like the extension, and then you get here, and you still have this.
Yeah.
It's like that depression thing.
Yeah.
You want to give this a go?
Have you done both arms?
Do you want to go 1 and 1 or?
That's probably better, isn't it? New device for me.
These are non-sponsored, just to be clear.
We'll blur out the brand. They're gonna have to pay if they want to get in this video.
Stay focused, Mike. Nice. How'd it feel?
Good.
Very weird to have a single-sided pump right now.
Yeah.
You know?
I barely do many free weight lower body exercises now.
Any?
Romanian deadlift with the glute focus, but now with stiff leg deadlift, I like to do it on a hyperextension bench.
Yeah, those are great.
Because it's really hard for me to keep my legs straight. They naturally just want to bend and push my ass out.
Yeah.
So that helps. And then everything else is machine.
I'm with you on that. Yeah. Some people will claim non-functionality though.
Yeah. Well, on this recent split that I'm doing and made for myself, I put in some walking lunges. And the first time I did them, it's a long time, I was like, I just couldn't stabilize myself.
But you also probably do those like 3 times and you're like locked in.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I've done that for a few weeks, and each week it's progressively getting a lot better.
Yeah, that's a masochistic choice by you.
But yeah, you just got to ask yourself, like, what are you training to be a functional athlete, or are you just training to be a mass monster? And to be honest, like,
Where do you stand?
just want to be jacked.
Yeah, that's cool. Cool with me.
Music's good.
You like it?
Take a chance with me.
Are you a no music while lifting guy?
No. I love listening to music.
I do feel like there's a certain degree of pride in, you know, people say, oh, you listen to music? I'm just like, no, I do no music. I lock
You
it.
do no
No,
music?
no, I do music. I
Yeah.
do music. I don't know, man. It's just such a, feels like wasted energy to me. See how it feels? No. I used to do. See how it feels out of the top to yank a little more?
Like down like that.
Yeah, just a little bit. Just like 5% more acceleration. just help you out to the top, to the bottom. Yeah. Yeah. Nice.
One thing I always used to struggle with when I started was actually engaging the back. Bicep, you always used to do a lot of work.
Yeah.
So I had to like try to switch it off
Yeah.
and get that depression or retraction
Yeah.
movement happening.
I think that that's a super common experience. And I think when you talk to most people who are really in tune with their bodies, what they say is something along the lines of like, just squeeze your lat and like keep it. But the person who isn't at that advanced level has no idea what that
Yeah.
means. So what you need to do is you need to direct their attention to something they can see.
Yeah.
So they can see, for example, get my elbow here, keep my hand in front of me.
Yeah.
Rather than squeeze what is my,
Yeah.
especially if you tell someone who's
You see, you're trying to
newer
feel something
training.
you've never felt before.
Right.
It's like you're in the dark, like
Yeah.
trying to find it.
Because people, if I wasn't like in this industry and teaching people as my job, I wouldn't know like what my lat is or where it is.
Yeah.
So if you say squeeze your lat, it's like, okay, where's my lat? What is my lat? I don't know what that means.
Yeah.
How do I translate it?
Yeah, a good coach is able to simplify and just almost dumb down
Yeah.
the complex terms and muscle groups and just be like, do this,
Yeah.
feel this.
Yeah.
Who do you rate in the industry? It's giving out good content.
Ooh. I guess my question would be what kind of content? Like informationally, like from an education perspective?
When it comes to exercise selection, technique, and so on, programming.
For the average person, I would say one of the first names that comes to mind more from like a general understanding of lifting angle. I think Eric Helms.
Yeah.
I mean, he's been an industry OG. He's been in the game for, I don't know how long at this point, but certainly longer than me, longer than most. And he's also someone who actually teaches this stuff. I remember reading his books for the first time in maybe 2015, 16. Anyone who's interested in really understanding like things from a programming perspective, the Muscle and Strength Pyramids, great books. Not a sponsor either, but great information. From an overall like technique perspective, I think someone who generally makes things very simple and also understandable is Joe Bennett.
Oh yeah, hypertrophy coach.
Yeah, he just keeps it simple, which I feel like in some ways the temptation to make things more complicated than they need to be. If you look at my content, for instance, 4 or 5 years ago, it was like complexity is king sort of approach. Like I want to appear as this person who has something that you don't.
Yeah.
And it's just like the more that you learn and understand, and the more that you remember to revert back to like what the actual goal is, which is to help people, the simpler the communication, the better in most cases. So I think Joe does a great job of that. I don't know if you've heard of N1 Education. N1 is a company founded by Kassem Hansen is his name. Someone like Jordan Peters, who I'm sure you know, is a big fan of him. He's excellent insofar as like the more complicated mechanics go. So I've learned a lot from him personally and his material. But I think for the average person, they would have a tough time kind of digesting that degree of material. He speaks more to coaches. But also just like someone like yourself, like you do a good job of modeling. Like you clearly don't need help, but you're constantly looking to receive help and new opinions from people who are different from you. Which I feel like if there's any lesson in that, it's like it's a way to be long term.
Well, even just, you learn the most by experimenting and even just trying other people's methods. Like there might be a 4 or 5 week period where I'm like, okay, I mean, I've been doing my own programming for so long.
Yeah.
Why not I just try doing something different, which you might look at it and be like, that's weird.
Yeah.
I wouldn't usually go for that.
Yeah.
But you give it a try, and then you're like, actually, there's a few things I'm going to take from this to implement into my routine. But then some of the other stuff, I'm like, I'm not feeling that.
So we talked briefly in terms of like your current programming, current
Yes,
split.
at the moment I'm doing it's upper, lower, 5 days a week, which has been okay, but like doing the lower body twice a week has been great. But doing a full upper body session, I don't know if I'm a massive fan of that. Because
Yes.
I've designed it so it's quite evenly spread out to target everything.
Yeah.
But when I look at my physique as a whole, it's like, okay, well, I probably should be doing a bit more back, less chest. Because chest is doing okay.
Yeah.
I think the next one I'll try might be push, pull legs, upper, lower.
You know what I've been on?
What?
Monday, push pull. Thursday, push pull. Today's Thursday, I think. Tuesday, Friday, 1, 2, 3.
But that's a fun day.
Because at the beginning of this year, I said this is going to be the year of me like really prioritizing arms. This has never had like a full, like a long cycle doing that. Half an inch so far this year.
That's good.
No pump. No pump, half an inch. And then Wednesday is leg day.
To this day, my favorite workout would be just a nasty arm workout. And when your arms are pumped, I feel like that gives you like the biggest transformation in terms of your overall physique.
Yeah.
If you've got jacked arms, you just look really jacked. You can almost get away with not really having a back.
You can hide it. You can keep it
If
hidden.
you're always wearing a vest or a t-shirt,
Yeah.
nobody really knows.
That's the thing too, is like it's such a high return on investment for arms too. Because I'll see dudes who have like this massive arms and just proportionately nothing of anything else. Yeah. And you think that they've been training for a decade. You can hide the legs, you can hide the calves. Calves too. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Weak point. Weak point for me.
That has to be the most boring thing to train.
Yeah, unfortunately. The most boring is unfortunately the most necessary for me right now.
How many years have you been training?
First 3 years of serious lifting, all powerlifting. That was my inroad. And then, so that was 1, 2, 3, so 8. So the last 3.5, and then the last 3.5. So we'll call it 7.
Okay. Fuck. I've been doing 18 years.
First 3.5. Yeah. How old do you think I am? I won't be offended in either direction.
27?
Wow, 26. It's good shit, man.
No, because you said you were training for that amount of time. It's like,
Yeah.
okay.
If I hadn't, what would you have said? 30?
30, 31.
How old are you now? 23?
I'll be 35 soon. It's getting scary now.
You have an interesting look because you look young and but you also look mature.
Yeah.
I feel like you could just stay 35 for the next like 15 years, maybe. You know what I mean?
Especially now with all those biohacking procedures and everything. The only annoying thing is I get like grays on the side of my head now. So maintaining this buzz cut hides it, but if I grow it out, you see the gray whiskers poking through. I tell you what always used to be a difficult one when I was coaching my clients, is when they had really poor posture. So naturally,
Slumpy.
they're like that. So you would say, okay, pull your shoulders back. And they literally,
Get stuck. Yeah.
you have to basically undo that over time, doing exercises and stretching and so on.
Yeah.
But those people, if you do have really bad posture, naturally it's very hard for you to move that tension away from the front delt and keep on the chest because everything is done here.
I think a great way to teach that to people, in my experience, is not to essentially try to teach it in the context of the thing they're already fucking up, but like they need to learn how to actually extend their spine.
Yeah.
So like doing loaded spinal extension paired with something loaded like retraction.
Yeah.
Because like people learn so much more easily when they have the tactile feedback of a load. Again, back to our whole like, do you feel your lat thing?
Yeah.
But the ability to coach that in the first place is also a barrier because most people don't take that approach of like just thinking about it in terms of the parts and then combining the parts rather than trying to just address something that they already can't do without any load at all in the context of the situation where they're being compressed into a pad.
Yeah.
Because, I don't know if you really feel this at all, probably not, but if this pad were a certain width, it might be hard for someone to squeeze everything back if they're being compressed.
Yeah.
Voice crack. But like a cable press, for example, if you can set up a cable situation, like you ever seen the half moon foam roller thing? Where like something Joe does, there's like a bench, they put a half moon and they tie it.
Yeah.
I think in general, that's not a strategy that I would use. I think it just makes people more unstable, but it does give people space, depending on their structure, to be able to actually move.
Well, in some gyms they have the bench where it starts off wide and then it goes really thin, literally just a pressing bench.
Yeah. Which is like if you're using sufficient load, that could be problematic.
Yeah.
Mike, be honest. When was the last time you trained your abs?
My abs. Nowhere near as frequently as most people would think. When I did go back to Dubai, I was training them like once. I would do, this is on a day where I do cardio, just walking on the treadmill. I would do 2 exercises and then walk for about 30 or 40 minutes. But I have noticed, like, if I can go months without training my abs and they're still there.
They still look chiseled?
Yes, but I feel like when I do train them, there's definitely, like you get after you train something, it's like
a little
pumped.
bulbous.
Yeah.
Do you like that look or no?
Bulbous?
For your abs. This is really...
Yeah, because it doesn't, when I train my abs, it's not like they're poking out. It's not like I don't have like a barrel belly.
Yeah. You don't want the barrel?
No.
So to answer
I feel like I kind of need to do a little bit because with some of the, particularly on like leg days, if I was loading up my lower back, I would want to even out the strength, the front, the posterior, and the
Makes sense.
anterior.
So to answer my question, once every
2 weeks.
Okay. You go with 2 arm here? So for the people watching, the first exercise we did was more of a lower lat focus, which is fancy language for the one that's on the side, kind of. And then this one is more for the upper portions of the lats. So these 2 kinds of motions are complementary in the same way that you would do like a decline press and an incline press together. So you're kind of checking slightly different boxes.
The form look okay?
Yeah. I was surprised you went into 2 arm.
Oh shit, were we doing 1 arm? Yeah.
I mean, 2 arm might be good because it's more time efficient, but you can make it look like you're way stronger if you identify where the pivot point of the machine is down there, and then you just basically grab higher up. You have a longer wrench. If you grab down here, especially given the way this is shaped, it's going to be much, much harder, especially at this angle over here.
So should people always go for the hardest option?
I think it depends on, I think with the way this arcs, this will feel better if you grab it a little bit higher.
Okay.
But I don't know, because you also have some
Let's try.
some lengthy arms. Yeah, get all the way up there.
Simeon Panna's got lengthy arms. I'm going to meet up with him in LA. I've never trained with him before.
The battle of the slender men.
Oh, that's not comfortable.
Looks freaking good though. Yeah, let's do that one arm for our second set.
Nice. I love how in your videos, there's always a new way to sit on a machine or a new way to position yourself. Like, I would have never even thought about positioning myself in a certain way. I'm like,
Yeah. I think the setup on this.
You've got to get creative sometimes. I cannot imagine the amount and the type of questions that you get regarding training. Because I remember when it was like my main thing, and that was all I talked about. It was like a bombardment of questions, the majority of which were just so weird or pointless. Like, why are you asking that question? Like, it's not going to make a difference in the grand scheme of things.
Yeah.
And then my type of content moved away from the training a little bit more, and the questions stopped.
Yeah.
So it was like, oh.
But that was for years, right? Where you were just
Yeah,
sole training focus? 2017 you started?
YouTube, it was 2016.
16.
And then 2019, I kind of strayed away from it. But then every now and then when I do a video talking about it, or even just like literally an Instagram story with a bit of text saying why I'm doing it, it's like, question.
If I'm asked a question, usually it's a question that would require, for like the sake of like an actual good answer, it would require X amount of time of like context.
You need to know.
So what I say is I return fire a question, because normally what that does is it either gets them to disengage because they don't want to have to think about it. In which case, why would I take the time to respond if they not even willing to do that? But if they do respond with like a thoughtful, hey, this is a thing that I, think that I know, but you're doing it this way. So like there's a discordance between those two things. If that person is actually putting some effort and thought into it, then I'm like, that's the person I want to talk to.
I appreciate if someone really has been trying very hard to transform their physique and they are struggling.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, like you can't fault the effort. Let's try and figure out maybe what are the things they're doing which is either a waste of time or they need to be doing more of.
Yeah.
Most of the time, it's because people have taken extended periods of time off training and they just get back into it. And it's been 2 weeks and they're like, why am I not seeing progress?
Yeah.
And it's like, because you had such a long period of time
Yeah,
off.
they want the fast pass.
Or they're just going out the weekend and getting fucked up.
Yeah.
Usually. Not sleeping.
Highly possible.
Drinking a lot.
Highly possible. Come on, Mike.
Ooh.
Little pump.
Little pump.
The one that we did over there was like a middle chest type of thing.
Yeah.
This will be a fairly like similar
Yeah,
path,
we should.
but I don't care.
He cares. He cares. Deep down, he's.
I care maybe a little. I mean, would I lie awake at night a little bit tonight thinking about it?
thinking about the lack
Maybe
of,
no more than 10
the
minutes.
lack of upper chest stimulation that you received today.
I check in with my tissues every night. My wife gently strokes them, and I say, this one feels about a 5 out of 10 fatigued. And then she pats me goodnight.
How does that feel? Definitely a different angle.
So where do you stand right now with your life situation romantically?
Oh, great question. Are you ready?
Can I guess?
Yeah.
For a while now, you've been focusing on,
Work and business,
but
myself.
now you're recognizing. By the way, I watched your Lonely Chapter video.
Oh, nice.
Great video. I think everyone should watch that if they haven't.
Thank you.
I did some homework. And I wanted to talk about that actually a little bit. But maybe you're talking to a few girls, but maybe one seems promising right now.
No. That
Was I at least ballpark?
if you'd said that to me last year, you'd have been correct.
But now you're locked in.
Oh.
You're ready to be engaged.
No. Sometimes I feel like I have a lot of good advice to give about women and relationships. And then at the same time, I'm like, actually, no. I wouldn't listen to what I have to say. Because you're getting my opinion and thought of view as a single man.
Yeah.
If you were to ask me the same question if I'm in a relationship or if I'm married, I'd probably give a different answer. I think just generally I like to say it's good for people to get a bit of experience. In today's day and age, you do have to tread with caution and be prepared and know what you may potentially be getting yourself into.
Yep.
Be wary of men or women that are going to suck the life out of you and drag you away from you pursuing your purpose,
Yeah.
and being on your mission. And know the difference between men or women that you either get in a relationship with or you just have fun with. Some people are for fun, some people are to be married.
That makes sense.
There's just a hell of a lot of mistakes which I made in my 20s, which now I'm much wiser.
And
Like,
you're only
I-
wiser because of the doing.
The experience, yeah. I mean, you can sit there and you can watch videos and you can learn and that can help for sure. But there's no substitute for having experience in the dating world.
I do find that is very analogous to the biomechanics realm, because people, you learn about a topic initially and you become obsessed with it. So are you familiar, for example, with the concept of like a moment arm? Like you just
Yeah,
the
yeah,
concept of
yeah.
torque. So people will learn about moment arm and then all they think about, see, process is moment arm.
Yeah.
And they forget super, super obvious things that are problematic that occur only through looking through that one lens.
Yeah.
But at a certain level, you also kind of, like, if you're going to actually become competent in any educational or more broad life domain, you have to go through those cycles of, like, you dive deep and you're like, oh, I went a little too far,
Yeah.
let's backtrack. Dive deep, backtrack. It's just this perpetual loop where,
But the weird thing is despite everything I have learned and experienced, I'm still learning.
yeah.
I'm like, even the last relationship I had, it taught me so much. And I think I will always keep learning. That's
What-
why, like, if I was to sit down and make relationship advice videos, I may look back at them in 10 years' time and cringe at myself and be
Yeah.
like,
I do the same thing. What would you say is you said you learned a lot from your last relationship. What would you say was front of mind when you said that?
a lot of the time, the most beautiful women tend to be the craziest.
Just say it.
Or the most difficult to be in a relationship with. Because for so much of their life, they've been used to getting endless amounts of attention and getting their way and being spoiled. And usually, in some cases, like, that's the only thing they do have. They just purely rely on their looks. What I'd also say as well, I've realized now it's so important to partner with someone who has at least some degree of control over their emotions. There needs to be some emotional stability. Extreme highs and extreme lows and panic attacks, anxiety attacks, hissy fits,
Yeah, you want to be
tantrums.
you want to be with an adult.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I was not.
Before we get back to that, what are you thinking?
More way.
Yeah.
I mean, but I don't think I might not be the easiest person to be in a relationship with.
Well, you are a very unique case of man. I also think that it's important for people listening to remember that your experience of women is different from mine and the next person.
Yeah.
And I can imagine that just given where you're at, like in your career, in your life, financially, business, socially, there's quite a strong selection bias there. You know what I'm saying? Other people are not so, they don't have similar problems.
Yeah.
They have different problems.
Yeah.
But for me, I don't think I said this. I got married 2 months ago, so I've been with the same girl for, thank you, 6 years, 5 years, 6 years, and we were lucky enough to meet at a time where both of us were in a similar phase from like a cognitive developmental standpoint, and so we've been able to work through the friction because we've been at similar stages of our emotional maturity. And I can't attribute that to anything other than luck and just viewing it more as like, it's kind of weird to say, but more transactional than romantic. Because I think a lot of people, they expect relationships to be different from everything else in life where, you're just gonna find this person and then there's just gonna be no distance between you and them. There's no friction, there's no work that you have to do. But like, I don't know, it's the same as building a business, making content.
To have a great relationship for a long period of time just doesn't naturally happen. Like, you got to work at it.
No.
It's difficult.
Yeah. And you always find that old couple, or both of them are like 95, and they're like, we've never had an argument, and we've been together for 60. And I'm like, sure.
I mean, they were growing up in a different time.
True. Dude, I gotta be honest, I don't envy anyone in the dating pool.
It's pretty wild right now.
Yeah. Maybe that can be an off-camera chat
Yeah.
betwixt us. Oh, I saw the eye roll thing there.
Yeah.
This feels good.
I still get questions where people are like, oh, what's your max bench? What's your max squat?
Just say 500. Just say 500.
Don't know, don't care.
Yeah.
As long as I look like this, I'm pretty happy.
You're good. For the audience, Mike is a lot taller than I thought he would be. Because generally speaking, people with your degree of muscularity, when I meet them, I mostly meet bodybuilders.
Yeah,
Their frame is squished.
yeah. On paper, I'm 180 centimeters,
Dude, centimeters, come on.
which is,
Give me feet.
it's like 5'11" and a bit. So I'm not officially 6 foot.
Same here. My
But
license is 6 foot.
It's nice to round it up. Why
Yeah,
not?
we round everywhere else, You did too, yeah. Here. Can I use your arm for something?
Yes.
Okay. Another conceptual model for people. So we started, I see that smile over there. We started with something that was like this. So high to low. We next did something that was kind of like more in the middle. And now we're doing something that's more like this. And that's a great way to think about back overall, is you have this spectrum of high to low, middle to middle, and then low to high. So it's like, as you pull high to low, the lowest thing works. And then as you pull low to high, the highest thing works.
What are common mistakes people make when they're doing this sort of a movement? What do most people get it?
I would say the number one thing would just be a lack of ability to keep this steady for the most part. So
They would do that.
because you basically see this and this and this and this over and over again.
Yeah.
But the whole point of this is to not do that.
Yeah.
So I'd say that's number one. Number two is probably the elbow flexion thing, like just pulling from here and here.
Too much bicep.
Yeah, so the way I like to think about this is if you pull back, like you're gonna end up in this row, imagine that a force is like doing this thing. So you're basically scooping up and back this way. It's not backward directly.
Yeah.
So for the viewer, it's more like, it's not this, it's more like this.
Yeah.
So this motion right here, if you do a couple reps, just so we can see it in action, just try to start from, there you go. So you're scooping up and back. So hopefully people can see that clearly, how the handle basically allows Mike to go whoop, because it's not this forward to backward thing. So that's another good example of like where you want to match the implement to what you're trying to do rather than trying to like fit the square peg in the round hole type thing.
Nice.
Given that you've trained with like some of the most competent bodybuilders in the world, when you train with other people, let's say me excluded, what does your approach to a training session look like in terms of, because I can imagine it would be a very different mindset to put yourself in.
For example, training with someone like Larry,
Yeah.
you feel so weak.
Yeah.
Like there's me trying to do bench press and I'm barely getting a couple reps out
Yeah.
on 3 plates either side. And he's there just repping it
Yeah.
with like 5 plates either side.
Yeah.
And you just feel like you're just so incompetent.
Yeah. It's almost good for you.
Yeah,
You know?
it's humbling. Training with someone like Dorian is like, that's just great for someone to shout and to push you. Let's say, for example, if he was going to train me 4 times a week and he did that for a couple of months, would I be bigger? Yes.
Might you be hurt?
Yes. And I would be like, they're the type of sessions where you just fucked up for the whole day.
Yeah.
Like after that,
Yeah.
I'm not doing anything.
Yeah.
I just need to lie down.
Yeah.
So that's not going to be appropriate for me with the lifestyle that I have when I have to perform, be on camera, or just
Yeah.
run a business. And then there's other bodybuilders. I remember I trained with Kai Green. We were training arms. We were training for 2 hours.
Yeah.
And I was just like, literally
Levels, man.
after 15 minutes, I was done. Like
Yeah.
already the pump was going. It just felt like everything after that was just a waste.
Yeah.
But he's there, just still going at it.
Yeah.
And even then I had to be like, I have to go now. It's like 2 hours in.
Yeah.
So it's interesting to experience it. And like I said before, there's certain things which I might take from it. But a lot of the times with some of these people, I just think either this is a stupid exercise or we're just doing way too much.
How do you handle that though in the moment? Because that's
Yeah. So like, I'm not going to say to a Mr. Olympia champion, you don't know what you're doing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because they clearly know what they're doing and it works for them.
Yeah.
But for the average person, I wouldn't want them to get the wrong impression where they think, oh, this is how you have to train.
Yeah.
So usually I would do a little bit, a review after the session and be like, okay, yeah, that was interesting. I like this, but I didn't like this.
Yeah.
But yeah,
That's a good way to go about
often, I'm not the type of person that would get into confrontations and argue with somebody in the middle of a session
Yeah.
and act like I'm the superior one. Because
Yes,
I don't think
respecting.
there is a necessarily a one way or the right way to approach something.
Yeah.
Certain things work for certain people, certain things don't. So it's just one of those things.
One of the most profound lessons that I learned from one of my closest friends who's a IFBB pro is just the takeaway that like more is more, which sounds so stupid, but like the people who are bigger than you might just be doing way fucking more than you're doing. And there's all the mechanisms, the fucking calcium ion thing is like a huge thing now. I don't even know if that's crossed your radar, but like people are like obsessed with how fatigued they're getting. And oh my God, if I go over 10 reps, is that too fatiguing? And it's just like all of that is just so noisy compared to just the concrete, like sticky takeaway of, hey, if you train more and you don't get hurt, you'll probably get better results.
Yeah.
If you train less and you train less hard, you'll probably not get as good results. Just for the people at home, we're finishing off with this. This is kind of a hybrid between the horizontal row and the one we just did. Because in this position, you're gonna have a lot of lats, but in this position, you're gonna have a lot of upper back. So if you're short on time, you could rightly blend the two goals. Instead of doing this thing and this thing, you could do something that's kind of combination.
You ever like collaborated or filmed with someone where you end up just having these little petty backwards and forwards?
Never on
Like
camera.
someone's trying to outsmart you.
Never on camera. It's always this awkward back and forth, like in the comment section of a social media thing.
Oh, yeah.
You know for a fact going into it, it's going to be a waste of time. And you're just like, let's see which one of us can wave our dicks in a greater radius of a helicopter.
This is a very soft pad.
You like the way it's
Like the way
that,
it deflates.
that looks like a good. Oh yeah, nice. Are you gonna take this to the house?
What does that mean?
Like, is this a set?
No, I think I can do more.
Okay.
I'm getting carried away though.
Okay, I'll probably leave it there, but we'll see. Yeah, take it to the house. It's like
Take it to the moon.
it's like a Northeast USA expression, maybe.
Yeah.
Actually, maybe it's just a USA expression. Take it to the house. It's like a football reference, like
Yeah, I've never heard that.
like the real football.
You can just breathe better in that position, I find. When I'm really sticking to a program which I've set for myself, I have to do specific days at the same gym. Because if I'm switching up the equipment, I can't track.
Yeah.
Like all these different machines, the strength curve, the range of movement, it's like so different.
Yeah. Which I think is like if people are, I mean, because you also travel a good bit too now.
But I've realized one of the reasons why I still enjoy the gym is because I have a lot of variety in the gyms that I train at.
Yeah.
So I have like 4 or 5 which I go to in Dubai on a regular rotation.
Damn.
And there's even more that I could go to because luckily there I just get free membership everywhere.
Yeah.
But if it's like I have gyms where I know there I train legs and have a nasty session. Another place I'll go to be seen and to see people, more of a social place.
Yeah.
And then maybe there's another one where I just, it's good for filming. Like or there's one as well which is across the road from me, which is really convenient.
Yeah.
So it depends like what mood I'm in, what I'm training.
Whoa, dude, that almost fell over. Do you feel that?
Yeah.
2 here?
Yeah.
2 sets?
It's just way, way harder doing it at the end of the session versus at the start.
Last set, best set.
Whoa. Bosh.
Bosch?
Bosh. That's what we say in the UK. Bosh.